and applications that'll be used for medical marijuana, for hemp and CBD, and all of the things that can be done in that space. Okay, so that's athletesandcannabis.com. You can check that out. We also have a veterans event we're doing November 11th on Veterans Day with vets. Welcome Home.vet, based out of Minnesota. They're doing a telethon to raise money to help service our veterans, and we know a lot of us are that. And then we have, hey, Mr. Loftin from Atlanta, GA, peace, love, and happiness. You're the man, the myth, the legend. I'm Reginald Grant. I've already introduced you. Let me get out the way and let you do your thing.
What's going on, man? Hey, Reginald, can y'all see this here?
We can see everything, and you are live on the main stage with about 100-some people looking at you. We see your screen there. You got it together. Yeah! Let me get out the way, man.
All right, family. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. I'm out here in hot Atlanta, which is doing a little bit of raining in and out today. I'm at another event called the Woke Fest here. You know, I'm double booked, so we talking about gentrification. There's a lot going on in the country, so I'm gonna kind of get to it if that's okay with y'all. The name of this is called Building Back Ownership. In this economy, the only people who ain't really being gentrified is the people who own something. And the people who own something is the people we got to fight and protect to save. So let me see what we got here. Building black ownership. So what's going on? What's going on? What does gentrification mean? What's going on behind the scenes, family, is Wall Street is now America's biggest landlord. So while we spending our stock dollars trying to invest in these stock companies and make us a little money, not us, but people. I don't do that. I understand what's going on. I want y'all to understand what's going on. These Wall Street companies, these Googles, these Facebooks, and all these different people, they're buying up all the houses in the African-American communities and evicting people like crazy, pricing people like us out of our community. So anyway, we're getting priced out of our community. So that's what's going on. They're destroying the American dream of home ownership. Who don't know about it, they're not even talking about buying houses. So that's the number one conversation we should be having. So what I like to say is we need to be buying real estate, whether it's a piece of dirt or apartment building. We need to be buying that while we can. As long as we can, we need to be buying it. So what's going on? This guy right here, Mr. Trump, what he decided to do and other people in his position, they decided when Trump first came into office, remember he said, I want to put up me a wall. Let me tell you what that wall really meant. A lot of people are just trying to get rid of these illegal aliens because we don't want them over here because they're nuisances. But the reality is they're really tradesmen. Donald Trump is trying to eliminate all his competition so that he can raise the cost of everything up. So that wall is keeping, that was AKA for get rid of affordable labor. So let's talk about that. He's locking out the Hispanics and the carpenters. He knows African Americans don't make up the majority of the tradesmen, the carpenters. So he ain't necessarily worried about us. He got us all wanting degrees. But the Hispanics, they know if I can learn me a trade, I can go live in America and live very well and be a millionaire in a matter of years by having a whole bunch of crews over there helping people flip houses. So what's going on? But here's what happens. When you ain't got no Hispanics here, you're going to increase the cost of labor during construction. Now you got people who don't necessarily like you coming in your home trying to figure out how did you get there, and we're going to quote you a high price. They're going to increase residential and commercial values. We're going to increase rents and leases, increase the cost of goods. So your $50, your $20 haircut is now going to cost you about $100 to get a haircut or get your hair curled, etc. Everything goes up by eliminating the Hispanic community. So they're going to also increase the white contractors and carpenters as well, because now, if you've been following me, you see that I've been talking about I am so blown away at the cost that it's costing to restore these houses or to build these houses. So what I see is they done made me put my speaking mic down and go pick up my tools, my wrench, because it's crazy for me to say, you know what, you finna pay somebody else $50,000 to come in there and remodel your bathroom. Maybe I need to come in there and do that. I can do that and knock that out. So that's what I want to tell my community. We all got to start pivoting and put our children in these trades. so that they can become wealthy, not make a couple of dollars and live good, but we talk about retire living wealthy and successful. So increase business owners' wealth. All these, we are losing so many African American contracts. We are losing so many African American businesses clear across the country because we don't own the house, we don't own the real estate that we are using for our businesses. So we got to start buying those businesses, those buildings that we're in. Same thing with the houses. And of course, homelessness is at an all-time high, but that's not really the topic of the conversation with these elections, I don't believe. This is me in front of the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall. I put this up because this mall has been they say they're gonna put a train. They built a train under the bottom of right up Crenshaw. I call it Black Wall Street, right in front of what used to be a black-owned mall, which most people didn't know that was a black-owned mall. A lot of African American businesses, like for one, my Malik's bookstore, they sold my book in there, Monetizing Gentrification, Building Black Ownership. And I told them, I said, that train has been completed over 2 years, but they are not going to open up Crenshaw Boulevard until they can convince a lot of African Americans to sell their businesses, to sell the real estate that's up and down Crenshaw, or to just completely move out of the area, because so many people don't want anything to do with this street. So sure enough, what's going on now? The mall is up for sale to some of the developers in New York, some of those those Wall Street tycoons. So you giving them what the mall is empty. Actually, I was told that mall is empty and there's no businesses in there. So we got to watch out for your workspace. So we see a lot of these people walking through our neighborhoods, and we say, "Oh, that's my new neighbors. They're pretty cool. You know, that dog is so nice." Well, you got to look at them again. You ever notice they don't have any children? Have you ever noticed they ask you more questions than you ask them? Sometimes what you got going on is these are investors that have been sent to our neighborhood looking to buy up, and they want to come in and walk the area. You know, you can see so many houses when you're driving, but when you get you a dog and you go walking, you get to find out things because somebody's going to stop you and ask you questions about that dog. And when you start asking them about their dog, they're going to start asking you, who owns that house across the street? Why is the grass dead? And you should not be telling people that you don't know another person's situation. We tend to get out and start telling people, well, that's Miss Betty. She's about 90 years old, and she's been in that house by herself. So we keep an eye out on her every day she's in the garden. So they're thinking, wow, Miss Betty comes up missing, then we could turn around and get that house because that house is sitting on some prime real estate, and we can turn around and create wealth with that house. So you wondering what happened to Miss Betty? She's not there anymore. She was just there yesterday now, but now they got people over there remodeling her house, and they talking about she sold us the house. So we have a lot of that going on, family. So quit talking to people that you don't know. Let's start asking them questions. Where do you live exactly? Oh, you say you just bought a house. What else to sell? Which one exactly? What's your address again? You know what I'm saying? Then you'll find out they actually parked at the grocery store on the corner walking through your neighborhood. So what's going on? The mass exodus. We got Californians fed up with the in the country in big numbers. But guess what? They're not just leaving California. They're taking large amounts of money with them. I call it, they're taking their gentrification dollars with them, meaning they paid $100,000 for their house, and then all of a sudden it jumped up to $1 million if you're in Lamert Park, for example. And they take that $1 million and they go straight out, leave the state and go like to Atlanta. They're going to, like I'm in Atlanta right now because I see people moving to Atlanta with large amounts of money, and these developers out here are waiting on them saying, come on out here so we can send you to a brand new neighborhood and you can get a brand new house in an area that they don't have. They barely have schools, black children in it, and they don't have any Black History Months and anything like that. So we are being set up and separated, family. So that's why I'm here to make sure that you understand what's going on. I see a lot of people making bad purchases. If you sell your house for $1 million or any large amount of money, you do not go to another state and spend that same exact amount of money on another bigger house that you've never had. We got people going from 2 bedrooms to 5,000, 6,000 square foot houses, 7, 8 bedrooms. And I'm like, it's just 2 of y'all. Why are y'all doing that? because they don't understand real estate. So that's what I'm here for, to help us to get the understanding of realizing this is the opportunity to generational. So we say we want you to come out here to some far out city in the middle of nowhere, probably an hour away. You heard all about Atlanta, but then when you come out there, they say, "Oh no, you don't live. You're not going to Atlanta. We want you to come out to Dakota and buy you a house. This big brand new won't be ready for 6 months. So you get to pick your, etc." And you thinking, "Wow, brand new neighborhood. I would love to have it." But now you become a commuter. You drive an hour and a half to work because guess what? You got a whole lot of traffic out here. But in the meanwhile, the homes that we should be buying is like the house on the left here, the house that we're being pushed out of, because what happens when they turn around and come to these communities, the gentrifiers come through there walking through the neighborhoods with their dogs. They see these houses, and let me show you what they do. Once they get us out of there, they come in, buy the little houses like the one on the left, and build brand new homes, mega mansions and things like that. Why are they doing that? Because they want to be swap out that for your convenience. That's what they're doing. They turn around and say, I want to be 15 minutes from work, 15 minutes from all my shop, everything, 15 minutes from the beach, 15 minutes from everywhere I would love to be at. It's just fit no more than 15 minutes. I don't even have to get on the freeway. But now that you swap that out so you can get a bigger house, but guess what? They're coming in, buying your house, giving you the money that you could tear your house down with and build that same house that you're going to move to Palmdale and buy. So most people don't understand that. So that's what I teach. I want y'all to understand. So, Amazon made a major power move from the malls. We lost over 9,100 malls in 2014. I'm sorry, 2019, and we lost over 4,100. I'm sorry, we lost over 4,100 malls. Just like you see the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw malls closed down in Los Angeles, as well as the Hawthorne mall closed down in Los Angeles. I can keep going and talk about malls closing all over the country, but it was 4,000, over 4,100 malls closed down. But at the same time, we lost 9,100 franchises in 2019. But why is that? It's a multiple reasons why this happened. What's going on is this is the response to that. They feel like if we can't get people to come to the malls and they want to keep going and buying on Amazon, why don't we change? We're going to bring shopping to the people. So these style of buildings here, where you have residential on top and commercial on the bottom, this is the norm that's going to be happening all across America. This is going on all across America right now. So they're saying, hey, you can get you one of these apartments or these duplexes upstairs, and it's going to cost you about $800,000, $900,000. But you got all your favorite restaurants at the bottom, all your shopping. And matter of fact, you can walk up and down. This is nice walking because we know y'all like that. All these new areas, Consumerville, because you can't even walk down the street to get to your car or go walking with your friend without seeing all these sales. So what are we doing with our children? We think the answer to gentrification is putting our young people in college so they can get a degree. But I think y'all, I don't even have to show you this because you know a lot of your students are sitting at home and not even allowed to go to school right now. So right now, family, what's going on is 99% of our college children who go to college and come home, even with a doctorate in medical, if they are not specialists, not doing some type of brain surgery or something, they will never be a homeowner, family. If we're talking about basic doctors that work at Kaiser Hospital, making $300,000 a year, that's not enough to purchase a home at these prices. We're talking about home prices clear across America, $700,000 median home price. So in the next 4 to 5 years, the median home price in America is going to be $1 million, and 99% of African Americans will not qualify for home ownership. If you don't qualify for home ownership, you are subject to being homeless for the rest of the year because it's going to be continue to push people around. So that's why I started going around speaking all around the country, letting people know about entrepreneurship. That's where our live, family. With entrepreneurship, we can start businesses. So these are the futures of the big cities. I think we just talked about that. So here goes some examples of what I'm seeing about people not knowing real estate. This is what I see going on around the country, family, with people not understanding real estate. Tyler Perry opened up his brand new studio in the middle of the African-American community. And I had people literally trying to talk about buying houses in that neighborhood. These houses in that neighborhood ran about $15,000. So it would be compatible to your Compton in California or your Bronx in New York. Well, Bronx have a lot of apartments, but you know, certain areas of Chicago would be compatible to the same area. So now you got a multi-billionaire just moved into the middle of a black community where the housing prices were $15,000 to $30,000 turnkey. And most of us saw the move, didn't understand the move, and thought that was stupid of him to do that. And we never even made an effort to buy some of those houses. The median home price around any studio in California is $2 million for a 2-bedroom house. So you cannot have a studio in anywhere without having housing prices skyrocket. So that's why I want people to understand when a major corporation moves in your area, you should be looking to buy a house in that neighborhood. I don't care how bad it is. Just know if it's not that bad that Tyler Perry could move there, know that in a couple years, things are going to be changed around. Trust and believe that. So I will be buying houses around Tyler Perry Studios or around any other amazing corporation. Like we got Tyler Perry Studios in each point, and we got Elon Musk in Harttown, California. Both of those are communities. And I can go on and on about that topic, but we also got to start looking at some people, a lot of people want to start businesses, but they also want to buy homes. Family, we can buy these mixed use buildings here. We got apartments upstairs and commercial downstairs, family. It is so many opportunities. We see in Los Angeles, where I'm from, Compton, California, we see the Koreans will do this. That'll be their black print. They'll come in, they'll buy the building with the apartments upstairs, and they'll run their liquor stores downstairs, and they know we're going to tap into that $1.4 trillion African Americans. Hey, we don't got to learn how to speak English because they're going to buy from us. We're going to start off in this building, and as soon as we make some real money, we're going to buy us a custom home or build one. So we got to start picking that up as well. So houses for sale by owner. We got a lot of myths going on where they're screaming we don't have a lot of houses on the market, so there's a housing shortage. Actually, the housing market has been split up, family. There's real estate agents no longer hold the monopoly over houses for sale because people have been, in the last 2 years, we've had people, over 70% of the homes that sold in the last 2 years sold for cash. So we've realized that we don't necessarily need real estate agents anymore. So we got people going on all these social media sites selling properties. So we got to stop listening to the news and pay attention to the investments. What are the business owners doing? What are their investors doing? And what is TJ doing and talking about? You got to start calling me up and let me coach and train y'all, because without me and my knowledge and my research, it is going to be very difficult for us. That's why I made this video. So here's some great, I'm giving y'all some bones, some nuggets. So I hope y'all taking notes here. We, hypothetically speaking, or we go out to the South and we end up in the houses on the right, the tract homes, right? So because they got brand new, nice houses, nice sidewalks, and nice new neighbors and everything. So we totally avoid the houses like the one here on the left, the one like your grandmother and grandfather had, or your parents had in the South, didn't want, because that area, there was nothing there. So guess what? All these new corporations are moving into these smaller cities because it was gentrification happening. It's pushing African Americans out all over the country. So guess what? Corporations are following that 1.4 trillion, and they're saying, give me grandma and grandpa's house that they got 10 acres sitting here by itself. Tear that house down, and we're going to subdivide that neighborhood and proceed just like they're doing on the right. So when someone sees that, family, that is the greatest investment. I tell people all the time, do not sell your grandparents' house, all that land. Do not sell anything with land on it. We got to start taking people got to start taking my classes so they can learn how to do land development. That's why you hear me talking about development. You don't hear me say nothing about flipping houses. You only hear me talking about building houses from the ground up and land development or sitting and holding. So these houses like this, there's a race to find all of these houses that are sitting on acres, because all across the country they're building these tract home communities, and they're literally coming in here buying grandma and grandpa that we want, most people don't want, They buying them for 50,000, 100,000. Then they tearing it down and putting up 300 or 400 homes and making $85 million back. We got to think about that, family. Let's make that 85 million ourselves. So we've moved beyond the idea of buying houses anymore. When you get prices of homes, the African American community have been surpassed because the median home price across America is almost $500,000. When they got to 350, that's when we started losing more and more people that could not buy. So we got to start building, because there's always a solution. You may not be able to afford to live in you may not be able to afford to live in certain communities, but you can definitely afford to build in those same communities, family. So if you don't know how to do this, reach out to me and let me teach you the classes, the consultation, help you do some things that you don't know that you are available to. So right now, this is a picture of me out in South Carolina. I decided, my money goes a lot further on the East Coast. And after getting quoted some prices to rehab this little bitty 1,200 square foot house, I got quotes of $50,000 to rehab this house. And I realized, I said, for $50,000, I can do that myself and keep the majority of that money. So that's what I did. So you see me standing there in some brand new windows, reframing out windows. So this is where the wealth is, family. This is where the wealth is. We got to put our young people into classes, because these construction workers are making all the money. These are the new doctors and lawyers. These are wealthy people. They're money than everybody right now. There is not enough construction workers around. So let me show you this. Gardeners, plumbers, masons, contractors, any and everybody that got anything to do with a house is making all the money. So the person who laid this concrete in this driveway would say, for example, a couple of our young men that's sitting across the street doing nothing or doing something illegal, and we can teach them how to lay driveways, for example, in one day. So say, for example, in one weekend, we teach our young people how to lay a driveway in front of this little regular house. Say this is a house in Atlanta or a house in Compton. Let's say that driveway is 10 grand. Guess what? This driveway right here, let's say that's Jay-Z and Beyonce's house, hypothetically speaking. We're talking about, that's a $90 million house. So the same person that lay that driveway in front of the Compton house is the same person that can lay that driveway in front of that luxury mansion. Guess what? That driveway is going to run about $1 million. And you don't have to go to college to learn how to lay a driveway. That's something that we could pass down. That is called generational wealth. If I teach you a trade that you can go out and create wealth from or make money from, that is generational wealth. Oh, wait. The more expensive the home, the more expensive the repairs. If you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see I'm dealing with that right now myself, getting estimates to restore these houses, do some remodels and things like that. And I kid you not, every day I keep thinking to myself, I need to go on and pull my toolbox out and do it myself. Put the mic down for a little bit, make money, and then go back to it. So what is going on all over the country in white communities? We have tiny houses being implemented into the schools. They're teaching European children, hey, we want y'all to have a trade in high school. Y'all don't necessarily got to go to college. We want you to get into these trades. And that's what they're doing with a lot of African American, with a lot of European children. But when I travel the country, I don't see this in African American schools. I see double down of them saying we need everybody to go to college. That's the only thing I'm gonna say was the plan that's going on in the white communities. So I encourage them to look at what's going on in the white communities and why are they teaching their children about building tiny houses, learning how to do plumbing, electrical, roofing, concrete, masonry, etc. So family, that's enough. I'm gonna go into, if y'all interested in learning, I know y'all thinking that's easier said than done. We need some help with that. So this is probably the part y'all been waiting on. A person like myself that's willing to take the time to teach you the game. So I also do keynote speeches, guest panelists all around the country, like I'm here at an event in Atlanta right now, corporate workshops, college, high school sessions, consultations, Zooms, meetings, coachings, trainings, anything to teach you guys and teach everyone the real to up-to-date information that we need. So this is all my social media information, my Cash App, my website, ThomasTJLoftin.com, my Instagram, my Facebook, ThomasTJLoftin.com. Please go on those pages. Please click share and like and subscribe. So if you're interested in one of my workshops or a consultation, I have a $300 1-hour 101 via a Zoom or a Facebook Zoom or a phone call, or if you're local, in person, 1-hour consultation with myself for $300. I also have a gentrification workshop for those community builders that want to stop what's going on in our communities, that want to understand what's happening around us. A lot of people are just finding out what gentrification means, but they don't necessarily know what to do about it. We have a lot of people giving disinformation around our community because they do not want us talking about this, and definitely don't want us having solutions and strategies. And I forgot my book. I wrote a book after traveling to 15 states. I wrote this book because I traveled the country, and frankly, I saw some things, family, that just put tears in my eyes, asking me, where did all the black people go? All over the country, people would tell me, this used to be a black community. This used to be a black community. And all I can say is, where are all the people? So on the front cover, that's me in Philadelphia. It's interesting how some people can look at that picture and know you're in Philadelphia on that picture. So my point is, I wrote that book because I want people to understand what's going on and have solutions and strategies, because there's a lot of gentrification meetings, but there's no solutions and strategies being offered because just from learning real information. So you can go to my website and pick up a copy of that at ThomasTJLoftin.com, or you can, it's $32 to your door, or you can cash at me, Thomas TJ, # Thomas TJ Loftin, $32, and make sure you put your mailing address, name and mailing address inside of the Cash App notes. So if you're interested in learning about land development, I'm having a one-day sale. You can go to my website, or same thing with the Cash App, and go. Regular price $3,500, but today it's on sale for $1,500. I can only work with 10 people at a time, so I want 10 people that's very interested in saving their communities, helping their families, and building generational wealth to reach out and take advantage of this. So please give me a call at 310-619-3954. Again, 310-619-3954, or go to my Cash App, # Thomas TJ Loftin, or give me a call and I can tell you, we can figure out how to transfer the money over, or whatever is Zelle, or whichever way you're using. But we also have the Eye of the Investor training class, where a lot of people are saying, you know what, I'm not going to put my child in this university. I learned my lesson with my daughter because she still hasn't found a job. So I'm gonna let you train and train my child in how to create wealth in 2020, 2021, and beyond. So I work with a lot of I do a lot of 101 8-hour sessions with anyone who's willing to learn, who wants to learn about land development, who wants to learn about real estate, who wants to learn how to buy land and build houses from the ground up. You know, whenever something like this amazing is happening in this economy, you're going to have people teaching us things that are not accurate and no money being made. Like, there's a major push to teach us how to buy stocks and Forex and all of these things, while other people buy up all the real estate. That's a distraction. So I'm teaching people about how real estate works. Okay, was that it? Okay, I guess I did it all, family. Let me come out of here. Okay, I'm done sharing. Do we got anybody? Let me see if we got any conversation. I see Mr. Grant on here. Do we have any questions here? Okay. Oh, so if you're interested in
event chat, up in your event chat. You got to go to chat and event to see the questions, Thomas.
Thank you, Mr.
So
Grant.
click on the chat, click on the event. Come on, man.
Hey, man, I'm not as technical as you are.
Right now. Say
okay,
again.
chat. That's not me.
No, event chat. Chat and event. Then that'll show you what the main chat room is saying.
Yep, nothing's happening in the chat in the back room.
Stage chat. Click on
Okay.
stage chat. No, not the backstage.
Okay, I'm at the event now. Let me see what we got. Join the hair boss movement.
Or stage. You're on the main stage, so they probably. Oh yeah, there's stuff in there in the event chat, and there's stuff in the stage.
That's the event chat. Let's try the stage chat. There we go.
So you got the comments.
Okay, I see you. I got you here. Let me start from the top.
Is this the true TJ?
Huh?
Is this the true TJ? Give him your stuff. I'm gonna shut up.
You know, Mr. Grant, you help. This is so true, TJ. I appreciate that. Anna, Maxine, how you doing? Speak on it, TJ. I appreciate that. Teach, Anna, how you doing? Michelle, how to write a book. Okay. Dr. Milligan Live. What we got here? October. Okay. Well, yeah, I appreciate it. We just trying to deliver the message. So if anybody's interested, you can go by my page, my booth, and talk to my assistant, and she'll make an appointment to meet me, or you can go to my Calendly website at thomastjloftin.com and book an appointment with me. That's how you get to that $300 consultation fee. You can book an appointment with me off of my Calendly page on my website. Go on there, a date and a good time for yourself, and go ahead and lock that in. You can use a PayPal, or you can cash at me and go on there, or give me a call and let's set the date and make it happen. We can say these communities, we just got to have the right information. And that's what I've been sharing, is a lot of the right information to help people all over the country. You know, it hurts my heart when people tell me, you know, I wish I had met you 6 months ago before I walked away from my house. I wish I had met you last week before I sold my house and let Tyler Perry Studios moved in my housing value skyrocketed. You know, we got people who want to create wealth for their families. You know, it was interesting. I have conversations with people, and they said, you know what? I've never been asked, do I want to create wealth? I've been told I need to get a good job. So I needed to go to school. And that's the only option I was ever given. No one ever asked me, do I want to create wealth? And they said, yeah, I do. So my only thoughts was, you know, I can play basketball, I can sell drugs, or I could go take some acting classes. Those are the only ways that I knew to create wealth. They said they'd never known that you can turn around and invest in real estate and make some investments. And I thought that was really interesting. You know, we got a lot of, this person was almost 60 years old, and they said they were never given the option of creating generational wealth and having something to leave to their families. And then they find out from a person like me that it's very simple, you know, and then it makes sense. I just told them exactly what I said. People think that they got to go to school for 10 years to get a degree and become a doctor, a brain surgeon or something to be wealthy. You know, got to do something unethical. And when they find out, it just blows their mind. So it put tears in my eyes to hear people say stuff like that and to be able to be a part of that. So, you know, just like today, I'm here in Atlanta at this next event, you know, sharing again information that people need. So family, I'm one of those kind of people that normally you would never hear from. I'm one of those people. The only reason why, I'm not trying to say the only reason why, but I'm out here because Dr. Sabi, rest in peace, ancestor Dr. Sabi, he told me that's what I need to be doing. I need to share my knowledge with the rest of the world. Don't be like the rest of those people who make it to the top and don't look back and invite anyone, you know. So I decided to look back and help other people by sharing the opportunities that's available. You know, some people shared it with me. That's how I got here, you know. So I wanted to talk about the trades. Family, I give you this one for free. Family, the trades are booming. These carpenters are making off like doctors and lawyers. They're making so much money. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I kid you not. All you got to do is look at the construction around you. And I'm looking at, we just got a contract with a young man the other day who's going to be cutting my grass cutting the grass in the neighborhood. And me feel real good to see that. you know, to be able to give some money to someone, a young person that decided I want to start a business cutting grass. Now we telling all the neighbors, hey, we got an African-American young person over here cutting grass. Here goes his name and phone number. So the trades, family, repeat after me, the trades, the trades, the trades. I cannot tell you as much as that in anymore, because it's crazy. The trades are creating new, put it like this, the trades are pathway to wealth. The trades are pathways to wealth. Before this guy gets out of office in the next 4 years, possibly, trust and believe, you're going to have a lot of people retiring because they created so much wealth. So if you're interested in retiring wealthy, then I recommend you teach your child how to weld. You teach your child how to do carpentry. You teach them how to do bricks, masonry. You teach them how to do landscaping. You teach them how to do plumbing. You teach them how to do electrical, any one of them. Painting. Oh my God, we got an $8,000 estimate to paint this house. Yeah. That was just the inside, by the way, family. I'm a living proof of a person. I can show you some estimates that'll blow your mind. That's what I should have put in this slideshow. I didn't want nobody thinking we made them up. I should have put them estimates in my slideshow presentation to let you see. These estimates just came over in the last couple of days of $8,000 to paint the interior of my house, of this house, in what was it, the tile flooring downstairs, to put some of that new wood on the floor, you know, that laminate wood or whatever it's called. Another, what was that, another $6,000, $7,000, $6,700 for 1,000 square foot, 991 square foot. And then let's talk about the granite, family. Oh my gosh, when the last time you seen a class in school about how to lay granite? We got an estimate of $5,200 to lay granite on some countertops in one kitchen. We ain't talking about the rest of the house, family. So these are all things that are going to be done in the next 3 weeks. So there's a lot of money being spent in real estate right now, and it's just unbelievable, family. So it's very important that we pay attention and look at what's going on and capitalize off of this. It's time to monetize this gentrification, family. Let me repeat myself. It is time for us to monetize this gentrification. And let me tell you something. You want to stop gentrification dead in its tracks? Let a quarter of those college students drop out of college and go run and get a trade. I guarantee you those develop and start applying for some of these construction jobs going on in all these gentrified black neighborhoods, because guess what? These gentrifiers are desperate to find people to build these houses, to remodel these houses. So if African Americans roll up in there with they tool belt saying I can do it, trust and believe they will be paying us. But guess what? If the country saw that we started doing that, they shut gentrification down, because they don't want us making this large amounts of money off of them trying to gentrify us, because they know we can afford to stay in these neighborhoods, quoting prices like $8,000 to paint the interior of a house, $5,200 to put on some granite, or $17,000 to put new cabinets throughout the whole house. Come on, family, this is ridiculous. We gotta learn how to pivot. All right, fam. I appreciate y'all time. I'm getting on out of here. Mr. Grant, I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Rosie, for the platform. For those of y'all who don't know, I am sitting here in the car in Atlanta, Georgia. I came down out of my booth at another event that I'm participating in today in Georgia. I'm out here sharing some more information. So I came and sat in the car, brother. I'm hey, Mr. Grant, I'm like you. I'm actually sitting on the golf course at an event at the driving range, brother.
I love it. I need to be out there with you, hitting some balls and losing some balls and just have a quality of life.
I'm not participating with the ball swinging. I'm at an event and they teasing me, man. They got the event at the driving range.
There you go. So next time I get down there, or next time you come home, we'll go out and lose some balls together and get some Monte Cristo Whites and have a great time.
That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate you doing what you're doing.
I'm just trying to, make sure that my kids can get some grits on the table every day, and they want to eat more than once a day.
Generational wealth. I want them to be able to, in 4 years, I want everybody hanging out with us on the golf course. So send everybody over to my booth. We got Miss Cole over there signing people up, taking orders for books and consultations, trainings, coachings, whatever it takes.
All
Everybody,
right, man.
welcome to the booth, family.
The role model for success and how we need to share knowledge. As I said in the thing, the power in knowledge is sharing the knowledge. Thank you, TJ. You're a role model for how we need to share and succeed. Get it done, brother. I appreciate you, man. It's
Hey,
always
brother,
good to be with people smarter than you. That's
I
how you come
appreciate
up.
I appreciate you passing that torch. You know, we
Hey,
got to.
man.
That's what it takes nowadays. We got to get that torch from the people who got the information. So I know you done taught me a lot of things, brother. So I'm just doing what you did, right?
Come
That's
on,
what
man.
worked.
Somebody opened the door for me. Somebody reached out and gave me a helping hand and pulled me up out of the barrel.
That's
All
what
right.
it
So
is.
it's up to us to give somebody else that opportunity. And this is the way we do it. We have to be in the room. Now, thank God we can do it virtually. And those that are pivoted and putting themselves in a position to win are going to have success. And that's about economics. And that puts us in a place where we can move forward in a positive way.
I appreciate you, brother. Y'all have a great day.
Okay. Enjoy. Stay dry.
All
All right, everybody. So we're rocking and rolling. There are some other seminars going on simultaneously. You got Mrs. Nora T. Hollis, who is a phenom communication specialist. Take your story to the stage, become a professional speaker, and get paid. Okay, Miss Norma is phenomenal. And then you have blogging, the new wave for making money, big money in the new decade. Crystal Mitchell, business development consultant, PR, television talk show host, co-director, Recycling Black Dollars. Um, so just go visit the booths, go visit the exhibitors. And Denise Willoughby says visit her booth for the next raffle. Satan, you're trespassing at 2:45. So she's about 3 minutes out. Go visit her booth. Go visit some other booths. And of course, you can go over and see Miss Cole and get your copies of Monetizing Gentrification, Building Black Ownership. Only $31.95 cash app to Mr. Loftin. So check the booths out. Just check that button in the expo area. The next presenter uh, is coming up here. I think about 3 o'clock. We got somebody else coming on board on the main stage. We take a look at all of our exhibitors. Go ahead and take a look into some of these other workshops and seminars. And knowledge is power, guys. It's all about empowering yourself. I've made money, lost money, and the most important thing I had was knowledge because I can make a little bit more gas money. So again, I'm Reginald Grant. You can find me at reginaldgrant.com or esipitch.com. And we all would invite everybody out to the Los Angeles Black Business Expo. Our next event is November 27th, Black on Black Friday. Again, that's the Los Angeles Black Business Expo by Black on Black Friday. And that means do business with people that look like you. Circulate that money in the community. Let it go around 3 or 4 or 5, 6 times before it goes out of the community. So we have professionals in every element, in everything you can think of. If there's something happening, there is somebody Black in that space as a world-class expert that you can do business with, right? That old adage, if I can't do business with Black people, it's boo-boo. That's a mythical boo-boo. So you can find some highly qualified individual. And again, there's all kinds of opportunities. Again, I was an English teacher for 17 years. My book that last year, Managing Your Brand, you can pimp me, but you must pay me. How to facilitate and position yourself to win. It's all about everybody is a brand. I don't care if you're a teacher, a student, an employee, you are a brand in that space and you to manage what people think and how they think about you and how you can facilitate yourself. For those of you that are thinking about starting a business, my 2020 book is The Required Mindset. Okay, Entrepreneurial Guide to Starting Your Business. All of these are available at reginaldgrant.com or amazon.com. You can find all that. You can find us on a family of authors, a familyofauthors.com. My 2 daughters' second and third books will be out this month. And that's Rachel Grant and Naomi Lanani Vera Grant. And those are available, will be available on Amazon as well. Again, I'm Reginald Grant. I'm so happy that everybody's joined us on this platform as we move forward in this new paradigm. We adapt, we adjust, we survive, and we put ourselves in a position to win. Thank you so much. Have an exceptional day, and I'll see you back here shortly. So I'm going to get off the main stage. And go and visit the booths. Go and look at the other sessions going on, the sessions that are live right now, and empower yourself with some knowledge. Thanks, Dr. Rosie. This is phenomenal. I'm just so glad to be a part of the process. And thank Barbara Lindsay, the founder of the Los Angeles Black Expo, for connecting me too. So again, guys, we'll talk soon. Take a look around the rest of the platform. Again, the navigation's on the left, the reception area. This is the main stage. The sessions are under the sessions banner. There are things going on now. Everybody, if you're trying to connect with people and grow your network and grow your business, you can go to the networking area, connect the dots with somebody you would never met before. And that's a great algorithm that connects you with other people. And then you can also go to the expo and visit the 40 or 50 vendors that are still there. Have a great day. Thank you so very much for joining us.